And here. So basically, this is an organization which is on its inception, which seeks to promote the Eswatini culture in the University of Botswana. And we've since, yes, it was an idea for us to just score marks, but then we've since seen the need for us as students to promote other international cultures in the university, because it's a university, because it has got what? It has got international students. Okay, enough with my talkings. You are all welcome. Let us enjoy being here. There are going to be some presentations based on the Swati culture, and there are going to be clips in between for your visual. In our midst, we have Mr. Basako, which is our guest speaker, who will be giving us a speech touching on the importance of recognition of international students in the University of Botswana, and actually touching on the importance of Eswatini and other international cultures being promoted in the University of Botswana. We've already wasted this much time, so without any further ado, I'll welcome the first presenter of this project.
Good evening to you all. This is So our group will be promoting the beauty of Eswatini in the University of Botswana. Next slide. Okay, so I need you guys to learn more about the Eswatini culture. First of all, let's start about the language. So the Eswatini language has some unusual sounds. As you all know, if you have passed Eswatini students, you realize like the way they pronounce their words is different to Setswana, right? Yeah, so typical example, the letter C is a click like more of like when you say, what's heck, I don't know, that's the pronunciation that you use. So this sound, you make it when you're disappointed or frustrated about something. For example, Nancy is pronounced as a Nancy, which means sorry. So in Eswatini, if you say sorry, you might say Nancy. Do we all get it? Okay, so and then the other one is K. The K's are pronounced like G's. And then unless it is the K has got an H next to it. So this is how they pronounce it. Food, they say food. And you have to rectify the word G again. It's Gula. Well, wherever there is KH, for example, they'll say Umkamba. Okay. So I've made a few sentences so that you all can learn Eswatini language. Are we all on the same boat?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So in good morning, when you say good morning in Eswatini, you say Sawubona. And then how are you is Salak. How are you is Unjani. Goodbye is Salakat. Okay. And then when you say my name is, you say Leganelani Ningu. Do you follow?
Yeah.
You say my name is Ligamalani Ningu. Yeah. And then when you say Kwemzambu Orated as a company that promotes Swati culture. In Eswatini, you say Kwemzambu Orated Yikampani Lenisa Imihambo Namasiko Eswati. Okay. So I guess you all know, you have a picture, right? Yeah, so the name of our company in Eswatini, it means indigenous based. That's why we are saying we are promoting Eswatini culture, right? Yeah. So and then let me do a quick on the background information of the country. Okay, so the kingdom of Eswatini, more commonly written as Eswatini, is the last absolute monarchy in Africa. It is a country many have never heard of, but once visited, never forgotten. Okay.
Wow.
Eswatini gained independence on the 6th of September 1968. Eswatini, known as Swaziland, until the king declared an official name change in 2018. As you all know, like, they used to name the country Swaziland. So on 2018, they did change the name to Eswatini. It's no longer called Swaziland, now it's Eswatini. Thank you. So this is a small landlocked country found within the geographical area of South Africa and Mozambique. It has many spectacular mountains, landscape, and it's full of thriving tradition and culture, which we are about to present to you. So just for you to know a little bit more, the currencies are South African Rand and Swazi Lilangeni. The official languages are English and Siswati. And also, the government, as you all know, is a monarchy, right? So the monarchy includes diarchy, parliamentary system, absolute monarchy, constitutional monarchy. And the cities are Mbambane and Manzinzi. So, this is the flag for Eswatini, as you can all see it. Okay, one thing I might say, I might ask you to mention all the colors that you see from the flag.
Blue, yellow,
And red, right?
white.
So the blue, let me say the flag on its own, the flag again, it represents peace and at the same time honors the famed warriors and the past battles in history. A quick recap, the flag of Eswatini was adopted on the 6th of October 1968, and it was designed by King Sobhuza II. They gained independence on September, and the flag was made on October. Are you on the same boat?
Yes.
Thank you. So, we have the meanings of society flag. As you all know from the flag, there were unequal stripes again of blue, red, and yellow, right? So the blue stands for peace and stability. And then the yellow stands for the minerals. And then red stands for the past battles. Thank you. So, the flag has a shield. I hope you saw the shield from the previous slide.
Yes.
The shield is commonly known as Nguni shield.
Yes.
And underneath the Nguni shield, there are two spears and a staff. The staff at the end is connected by the tassel feathers. The feathers are from the widow bird and the lori. And they're all central, and all of this, they're centered in the middle of the flag. Also, and all of this, they represent protection of the country from its enemies. Are you all in the same boat?
Yes.
Thank you. So next is the coat of arms. As you all know, each and every country has its own coat of arms, right? So in Eswatini, the coat of arms depicting various traditional symbols of Eswatini culture. It has the lion, as you can all see it. It has the elephant, and also the Nguni shield that I have already talked about. And also it has the crown of feathers. I hope you can see the crown on top of the shield, right? Yes. And at the bottom is the motto. See, mama. Can you all pronounce that? Thank you. So the lion represents the king, as you all know, king of the jungle, right? And then the elephant, it represents the queen mother. And as you can all see, if you can take a clear look, the lion and the elephant, they are supporting the shield. I hope you can all see again. So, which also represents protection. And above the shield is the crown feather that I've already talked about. Normally it is worn by the king during the Inkala ceremony. Inkala ceremony is the festival of harvest. And then there is a banner below, which is the motto that I've already spoke about. So the foods from Eswatini. As you all know, each and every country has got its own indigenous food of which they are proud of. So in Eswatini, there is this drink, it's a beverage called bugano. Bugano is made of murula. In English, it is a murula fruit drink. So this beverage, the Eswatini they have made its own annual, more like festival or ceremony. A ceremony where like the old ladies, they'll be taking the murula fruit, as you all know it. They'll be peeling the murula fruit, then they add water, and then they add a little bit of sugar for it to ferment a little bit fast. And then after that, the impurities that are not needed, that are being taken out, and then they serve the beverage as it like that, called the bugai. Thank you. And then the other fruit we have umpunshu porridge. Umpunshu, it's a porridge. So this porridge, it is the main ingredient of the porridge is the samp. So the samp is taken and then boiled, and then beans are also added and then boiled, and then after that they mash it. After mashing the food, they add a little bit of potatoes so that it sticks together, right? And then they serve it. You might add some little bit of vegetables and spices to make it tastier. Thank you. And then the next we have Kwankanti. It's a tribe. In Botswana we call it Mohod. I mean, some things are okay. Yeah, it depends from where you are. So in Eswatini they call it Kwankanti. It means the inside. I guess you know the insides of a cow. So there are 4 chambers of the inside of a cow in the stomach, right? The 4 insides that are taken and then boiled. After boiling it together, you may add some spices and seasons to make it tastier, and some others can also add herbs. And then normally it is served as a starter or a main meal. You can also normally they use palichi to serve it with Kwankanti. So normally they prepare this food after a long hangover from the Bugani. Or after they attend the Bugani ceremony, they prepare Kwankanti as their main meal, because they've been working a lot. Yeah. And then after that we have Lukash. It's a jute soup. So this Lugasha vegetables is very rich in fiber, protein, and vitamin C. So this is what they do. They take the young leaves and those new shoots, because they're still rich in vitamins, right? And then what they do is that they take it and then they mash it. Add water, mash it to make a thick consistency. And then after that they might add some vegetables and also some herbs such as onion, tomato, okra, and melon seeds to the lugusha. And then after that it is served. Normally they serve it with pap along with it. And then next we have inkab. Can you all pronounce it? Inkab. No, inkab.
Inca.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a dish. Normally it is eaten by the adults because it has that taste of bitterness. So the youth don't like the bitterness, so normally it is eaten by the adults or the elderly. So in Gaga also it is known of its health benefits. That's why the elderly take it. So in case you want to know how it is cooked, you take the leaves of the bitter gourd and then cook them, pour water, and then after that you may make a thick consistency, or you can add some peanuts and other vegetables are added for flavor. Okay, and then we have other kinds of food from Eswatini that are widely known. They include umbiba wakosa. It means roasted maize. And then umbika lopekiwe means boiled maize. So they can roast maize and they can also boil it and then eat. And then the other one is called simka sembila. It means mealie corn or cornbread. And then the other one is sidvuvu, yeah, pumpkin pep. The other one is umpomboti, that you all know. I hope you're all familiar with it. Okay, so I'm done with my presentation. Next will be the tourist areas. So let me do a quick recap regarding this. There are a lot of exciting and fun places to visit in Eswatini, but these are the most best places that we do recommend you. In case you go to Eswatini, these are the places that we would love you guys to visit. First of all, we have the Tshwane Royal National Park, and then Lumbamba, Umbuluzi Game Reserve, Mbabane, Malkans, Milwane, and Matenga Village. And then coming up is the Tshwane Royal National Park. The Tshwane Royal National Park is a protected area. As you can see the word royal, it means that it is protected, right? Yeah. So it is in the northeastern of Swaziland. A flat lower area with grass and shallow pans. The park is traversed with the Umbulazana River. Roads and trails offer views of diverse wildlife such as lion, elephants, hippos, white rhinos, leopards, and giraffe. The white-backed vultures and other raptors nest in the ancient hardwood trees. The park also hosts as a colony of marabou storks. And then all of you are wondering, why is the Tshwane Royal National Park known as the Royal? In 1967, King Sobhuza II of the Kingdom of Swaziland ordered the establishment of the Tshwane Royal National Park. The area was a royal hunting ground prior to be declared a national park by the name of the Tshwane, meaning wildness. So Tshwane means wildness in society. So we'll play a quick video of so that you can get an overview of the Tshwane Royal National Park. Thank you. Okay, coming up next we'll have our presenters who will be talking about the attire.
We'll be taking you through the attire, this beautiful attire that you are seeing, the Eswatini attire. But I'll be taking you through the male side. For the attire, for males, it differs according to age and according to occasions. So from 3 to 8, I'm going to start first with the lowest age group. So from 3 to 8, they only wear skins, loin skins. You know loin skins like a matlan. Yes. That is what they wear. Then from 8 to 17, they also wear the loin skins with the miniskirt underneath to protect themselves again. Yes. Then now men, they are the adults. What they wear is, we have what we call this upper cloth here, that you see, this colorful red cloth. It is called the lihia. What is the lihia? You all get it?
Yeah.
Yes. Then you also have the bottom part that you see here. This is what we call the setwashi in the language, in the Swati language. This is what they wear, the adult men. But they also wear what we call, they also wear a colorful cloth where they also put a loin skin, a leather apron on top, which they call it the emajobo. I don't know if you have the picture here of it, of the emajobo. That is what they wear, what they wear the men. Then they also tie. They also tie on occasions. That one is specifically for occasions. That is what we call the ungato. And they also, men, the elderly men, they walk with the walk sticks during occasions. We call it the sagibo. And then during the occasions, on the occasions, the royalty, they have to wear the red feathers to show that they belong to the royal family. They call it the yugalabala. Those red feathers they wear on their heads. So there isn't that much about the attire. That's the main attire for the men. I guess you can all see the lihia, sitwashi, and then they also have the other one where they put this cloth and a leather apron. They call it emajobo on top. Yes. Yeah. Oh, he has it. The emajobo. Here you can see. Yeah. They wear like this without putting on the lihia. If they wear the emajobo and the sitwashi. That's for the males.
Hello, I'm going to be taking you through the female attire. First of all, they wear the lihia, which is the top, with a garment on top. Plural of lihia is emahia. There's also a longer version of lihia, which is called umtulu. The lihia is tied this is an unmarried woman. This is how an unmarried woman dresses. Unmarried women tie the lihia on the right side, while married women tie the lihia on the left side and wear goat skin on the left and the right. Also, when wearing the lihia, the lihia should be L-shaped and it shouldn't be tied on the shoulders, but on the lower collarbone. Well, in regard to age group, infants aged 3 months are dressed in protective medicines only. They wear nothing. While females between the ages of 3 to 6 years, they wear no cloth or sometimes wear a string of colorful beads. While females between the ages of 3 to 8, they wear a string of beads and a skirt that is made of grass or fabric called lovatla. Females aged between the ages of 8 to 15 wear a skirt made of grass or a skirt made of short toga or fabric which must be accompanied with bead necklaces. She's not wearing ornaments. The females are the only ones who wear the neck pieces and the bracelets. The bracelet is called sitizo, and the neck piece can either be white or colorful with beads, and it is called vitebasha. Okay, that's all.
All right, thanks a lot to our presenters. We so wish and we do hope that next time we'll be having those kind of foods that we're talking about, those lupusha, seafood, and all those kinds of food. So right now we're going to tackle the major events in Swaziland. As you know that Eswatini is still a country which is still clung into its indigenous culture. So right now we'll just do a brief presentation about those major events that take place in Eswatini. Thank you.
Protocol is highly observed. I will be taking you through the events in Eswatini. The first event that we have is called Inwala. Inwala is whereby young girls cut reeds and present them to the Queen Mother. The Queen Mother is called the Indogaz. So they present them to the Queen Mother and also prepare the windbreak around the royal residence of the Queen Mother. And then they dance in celebration. In this event, up to 40,000 girls take part, dressed up in brightly colored attires, making it one of the biggest and most spectacular cultural events in Africa. Ingwala is the main ritual of kingship in the kingdom of Eswatini, which means that without the king there is no Ingwala celebrated. And it takes place in December or January.
The Swazi nation continues to show excitement towards the sacred Ingwala ceremony, as throngs of people have been attending since the ceremony commenced at Lutsitsini Royal Residence. His Majesty King Mswati III is now at Mpumalanga Royal Residence. Here's a report.
The Ingwala ceremony continues to gain momentum since it started 8 days ago. His Majesty King Mswati III danced at Lutsitsini Royal Residence for a few days. The king then proceeded to Ngabezweni Royal Residence, where Emakhosikati, princes and princesses, and regiments were in full support. His Majesty the King has now proceeded to Mpumalanga Royal Residence in the Lubombo region. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Sandile Makanya with Zwele Masuku.
As you have already seen from the clip, that was in Ngala, whereby they are celebrating kinship in the kingdom of Eswatini. We also have Umhlanga. Umhlanga is whereby there is a reed dance, which brings together the unmarried girls and young women of the country. They get together to cut reeds as well as repair the windbreaks of the Queen Mother's village. It is very important in Eswatini because it symbolizes unity as young girls and young women get together to celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. So right now we're going to have a quick clip of the concert.
Njengoba kulilanga lesibili kumkhosi wemhlanga eminyakeni wa-2021 ekuseni indlovukazi Mhlekazi uMaNgcebeza Khweshe ukhululile imbali kokuthi-ke iphume esigodlweni Lutsitsini kulandzela ukuthi befike itolo babhalise. Imbali bekade ehamba ngekuholwa indvuna yembali iNonduduzo Zibuko neluzinyane lembuko uMkhanenkosi Temashayina. Imbali-ke ibhekise emabombo esigodlweni eNgabeveni lapho ifika-ke itokhishwa ngesosilo semhlaba eNgwenyama futhi ihambe iyogeca umhlanga. Kubhekekile kokuthi lo muhla imbali iphume khona eNgabeveni ibheke eLutsitsini igece iphinde futhi ibuye nawo lo mhlanga. Kanti-ke imiyalo ifake ekhathi kokuthi abalandzeli bacikelele kuvikelana nekutivikela ekwanziseni umkhuhlane we-COVID-19 kuze kuthi babe ngilabo bonke-ke labaphephile.
Hey, lalela Mbali, ithi inkosi indlovu yomhlaba isabheke eNkabezweni infisela lihambo loluhle ungathi uNkulunkulu angaba nani anivikele. Iyakhulekela ke indlovu yomhlaba ukuthi nisaphuma niyogcina umthetho wetempilo kuze sibuyele emakhaya siphephile. Ithi angigcizelele ukuthi inhlonipho ngiyona ihamba phambili la ekhaya. Bantu abatiphathe kahle bahloniphe. Ithi ke uNkulunkulu akabe nani-ke nihambe kahle. Nkosi Ndlovukazi Mhlekazi
Ube uhle nomahla nomnyama lo.
Eswatini Atheshu
Kuyakhanyisile Mabuza endzabeni temsakado wechannel yeMaswati. Ngina Gary Carlos eLutsitsini.
Okay, thank you guys for the events that have been presented. We actually do hope that someday our members and the whole UB community will be actually able to even dance at those kind of songs. We hope that there are going to be some of those initiatives, programs. It's okay that we are talking about these things, we are portraying them. There is one official in our midst, so I think that they will consider such things in plan. Yes, let me just end there. We'll just take this this break and we'll take this some places to visit in Swaziland. It's a 10 minutes video, so it will be just a break. We'll just watch the video as a break. We'll then move on to our last slide, which will be presented by me, which is going to be the Swati marriage. The Swati marriage, how marriage is conducted in Eswatini. Just a brief. It's not a thing of a one day. It's an event which takes more than 5 days or so. So yes, we'll get into that after this quick break of 10 minutes. Thank you.
10 best places to visit in Eswatini. Hello explorers, welcome back to another exciting video and thanks for watching. In this video we shall be taking you all the way to the southern part of Africa and we shall be shedding the light on the 10 best places to visit in Eswatini. Eswatini, officially known as the Kingdom of Eswatini, renamed in 2018 from its former name Swaziland, is a landlocked country and one of the smallest in Africa, with its capital and largest city being Mbabane. This country is not more than 200 kilometers north to south and 130 kilometers east to west and has a population of 1.15 million spread across 17,200 square kilometers, composed primarily of ethnic Swazis who speak Swazi along with English as official languages. Its climate and topography are diverse, ranging from a cool and mountainous highveld to a hot and dry lowveld. If you're new here, welcome, and remember to turn on your subscription button so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. Eswatini is Africa's last absolute monarchy, which was established in the mid-18th century under the leadership of Ngwane III, whose name came from Swati II. This small but scenically beautiful country of emerald peaks, rivers, ravines, rolling valleys, and waterfalls is a hiker's Eden. Nature reserves are the top attraction here, and though only a few host the big five animals, lion, leopard, elephant, buffalo, and rhino, all of them offer an intimate game viewing experience, lush mountain scenery, and a rich diversity of species. Eswatini is also proudly preserving its fascinating culture, customs, and festivals. Travelers are welcome to watch some of the festivals of Inkwala, an impressive 3-week kingship ritual in December and January, and Umhlanga, and a lively reed dance ceremony, which takes place during the last week of August or first week of September. So with the intro out of the way, follow us as we show you the top 10 best places to visit in Eswatini, of course in no particular order. Number 10, Mhlani Royal National Park. Mhlani Royal National Park is a protected flat lowland area with grassland covered ancient hardwood trees and shallow plants traversed by the Umbuluzana River. It is roughly 67 kilometers northeast of Manzini along the MR3 road. However, it is Eswatini's largest protected area and park whose modern-day conservation success story has seen it surviving competing land use claims, sugar farming, mining and cattle ranching. The park and its adjacent dispensal areas cover 30,000 hectares of Swazi bushveld. Prior to the park being public, it was a private royal hunting ground. Mhlani, meaning wilderness, was named by King Sobhuza II. It is now held in trust for the nation by His Majesty King Mswati III and is managed by Big Game Parks as a privately owned body. Moreover, Mhlani is home to the lion, elephant, giraffe, and white rhinoceros. It has an abundant and diverse bird life, including the high density of nesting white-backed vultures in Africa. Number 9, Mbuluzi Game Reserve. Mbuluzi Game Reserve is a privately owned reserve in Eswatini within the Lumbombo Conservancy. There are 3 lodges privately situated on the Mlawula River and a campsite situated above some rapids in the Mbuluzi River. The privately owned Mbuluzi Game Reserve in Eswatini is well run contrary to the neighboring Mlawula Nature Reserve. Poaching is well under control here, and wildlife numbers are increasing. Aside from crocodiles, the reserve doesn't have any dangerous animals and activities are self-guided. Other than driving around, walking and mountain biking are encouraged. A portion of the proceeds generated by the reserve go to community development fund. Number 8, Meliwane Wildlife Sanctuary. The Meliwane Wildlife Sanctuary is the oldest and most protected area, managed and owned by a non-profit trust. The sanctuary serves as a headquarters for the big game parks, including Meliwane Sisters Reserves, Mhlani Royal National Park, and Mkaya Game Reserve. The sanctuary covers 4,560 hectares in the Ezululimi Valley, or Valley of Heaven. Formerly a farming and tin mining area, the area has been rehabilitated and is now Eswatini's most frequently visited reserve and its wildlife across the plains. The southern section is predominantly open grassland plains with meadow-veiled vegetation stretching up to Nyonyaye Mountain. Catch a glimpse of giraffes, zebras, and more on self-guided tours, horseback or in open land rovers. Number 7, Swazi Cultural Village. Swazi Cultural Village at Matenga is a living museum of old traditions representing a classical Swazi lifestyle during the 1850s. It is a mini complex of 16 huts, each with its own specific purpose. After the official opening, it was named Legugu Lewa Smati by His Majesty King Mswati III, meaning the pride of the Swazi people. On entry, the village people, often wearing traditional clothing, will warmly welcome you. The standard Swazi greeting to the family is Yebo Nkosi. The objective of the cultural village is to enable visitors from all over the world, as well as Swazis from all corners of the country, to visit and to maintain a positive interest in the Swazi cultural heritage, including language, customs and practices, rituals, dance, music, folklore, art and crafts. The village life is vibrant and energetic, and interaction is highly encouraged. Number 6. Malukot Jah National Reserve. Malukot Jah is one of the very best highland reserves in southern Africa. Its 18,000 hectares wilderness of high-rolling hills and deep forested river gorges, offering a genuine wilderness in which hikers can lose themselves for days. The Malukot Jah River rises in the reserve, plunging over the 95 meters Malukot Jah Falls, which drops 89 meters, being the highest in Eswatini. It falls on its way to the Nkomati River, which cuts east towards the Indian Ocean. The park includes Ngwenya Mountain, which is Eswatini's second highest mountain of 1,829 meters. Malukot National Park adjoins the Songimembelo Game Reserve in South Africa, and together they form the Somingwevo Malukot Transboundary Protected Area of Peace Park, which in turn is part of the Lubombo Transfrontier Conservation Area. This region was identified as important by the Swaziland National Trust Commission in the early 1970s. Number 5. Mbabane. Mbabane is Swaziland's capital city and has an ancient setting, ranged by the craggy backdrop of the Ndlanengi Hills, with an average height of 1,243 meters. It sits firmly in the high belts, its temperate climate offering some relief during the hot season. Though only a medium-sized town by Western standards with a population of some 95,000, it is nonetheless Swaziland's largest and received city status in 1992. Number 4. Matenga Village. The entrance fee to this tranquil, thickly forested reserve covers a guided tour of the Swazi Cultural Village, a living cultural village with authentic beehive huts and cultural displays, plus a Sikh Haka dance performed daily at 11:15 a.m. and 3:15 p.m. And you can have a visit to the impressive Matenga Falls. The reserve is also great for hiking. Day hikers pay only 50 E. Although it's not a big wildlife park, it offers a chance to see vervet monkeys, baboons, warthogs, nyalas and donkers. Moreover, visit the Matenga Craft Center with its fascinating shops that offer a wide variety of local art and craft items. Within the Matenga Nature Reserve is a cultural village, which falls under the Swaziland National Trust Commission, and where visitors will learn about day-to-day life in a traditional Swazi homestead and enjoy vibrant dance shows. Although this small 725-hectare area was purchased as early as 1979 by the Swaziland National Trust Commission, a government body, it was only developed from 1994 onwards. Number 3. Sibebe Rock. Sibebe is a granite mountain in Eswatini. ...150 meters above the valley of the Mbuzuli River. Only Australia's Uluru gives it to the title of world's largest rock. Uluru is actually an eroded sandstone isoberg, in other words, formed of layers of sediment. Sibebe, by contrast, is a batholith. It welled up through the Earth's crust in one great molten bubble before cooling to form a massif of sheer granite. It is also known as bowed rock. Moreover, the Mbabane Buzuli Rotatory Club organizes an annual fundraising walk up Sibebe Rock called the Sibebe Survival, where several thousands of people take part each year. After rains, the rock glistens silver with countless streams running down its bare face. It's a magical sight from afar, but slippery and dangerous. The going is deep in places, but it's a hike, not a climb, and will take you about an hour to get up. Number 2. King Sobhuza II Memorial Park. The park was established as a tribute to King Sobhuza II, who led the Swazi nation to independence from the British in 1968. It is located at Lubamba, adjacent to the Houses of Parliament, Somololo Stadium and the National Museum. The 3-meter bronze king statue is facing the east, where the Swazi monarch originated, staying from those regarded as people from the sun, his male herd Lilawu, Lozitha, royal resident, and Mziba Mountain, a royal burial mountain. The statue of the king is surrounded by shields. This symbolizes his position within the kingdom, where he is regarded as a central figure as well as a member and head of the regimental system. The symbol of the lion represents the king. Traditionally, before a Swazi king assumes or comes to the throne, he has to kill a lion, thus referred to by Swazi as Ngweyawa. He is also known as Silo, an awesome creature. Number 1. Swaziland National Museum. The museum has an essential role in preserving past traditions and culture for future generations. In 1974, the International Council of Museums, ICAOM, defined the museum as a non-profit making institution in the service of society and of its development and open to the public, ICOM 1974. The objective of the museum was to collect all natural and man-made objects that reflect both natural and cultural heritage of the Swazi and Southern African peoples, document, conserve, exhibit, and to serve as an informal education forum for school groups, refugee camps, and adult education centers. There you have it, explorers. Those were the 10 best places to visit in Eswatini. Thanks for watching. If you did enjoy this video, do want to give it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe and share with your friends.
Okay, thank you guys for that. Thank you guys for that clip. Okay, for now, we are going to welcome our today's guest speaker, Mr. Basako, the chairman of Monoa by 20.
Thank you so much, Mr. Brilliant, for such an opportunity to speak to these wonderful people here today. I choose not to wear the hat of the chairman Monabai today, but I choose to wear the hat as the speaker of the student parliament or the student assembly. But I normally start on a note of piety because that is what I do and that is what I always do. To thank those who have given so much of themselves to make us who and what we are. And I normally thank God above all because life is what God gives us and style is what we do with it. And I think today we have just celebrated the culture of the Eswatini speaking people from the Kingdom of Eswatini. I was more excited when Brilliant delivered the letter of invitation to speak at this ceremony, to speak on the importance of integration of international and local cultures. Because as a young guy from Mahala, I've always had ambition. I'll call it ambition because to me it was success to marry a Swati-speaking woman. But I think the excitement has just been eroded away after I've had Brilliant mention that the wedding takes 5 days. So I think the economics in me will not allow me to go to that extent. So I think it will be a no-go area. But I will not speak much today because I think it was a learning curve for me. I'm a learning curve that one will advise me in terms of policy at student governance level, what could be done to appreciate and accommodate such initiatives within the university, because I think it's a great initiative that could bring about an important element that has been lacking in the university, which is cultural integration. We've always had Culture Day, but the integration of cultures has never been clear in terms of what the efforts of student welfare and SRC and LLC have been doing over the years. So I think with such an initiative, which started also, I need to appreciate because it started as a COM group assignment, which speaks to something that I believe in, which is imagination. That aspect of the mind which has the ability to reconcile everything with everything else. You start imagining something so small as an assignment in the COM class to something that has a potential now to even impact the university, because cultural integration is very important for the purposes of peace and tranquility within a community like this one. And I've been asked to speak on this subject of importance of cultural integration, especially looking at the Eswatini culture. I think I learned a year ago that there were about 180 girls from Eswatini in the University of Botswana. Just women alone. I don't know what I was really looking into, but I think I was still pissed. I realized that the population is so big. For us to integrate and learn not only their culture, but also cultures from I know also you have people also from the Western world. I think we have been, for so long, we've been influenced by the Western cultures. We've never really appreciated local cultures, especially within the African region. Because if you get to learn about the material and non-material aspects of the Swaziland culture, I think it even gives you a platform to also have an opportunity to even invest in such countries in future. Because you're at a university level, if you interact, if you learn people how they live, if you learn what they eat, you can be able to even think of business opportunities in Swaziland. So I think the aspect of cultural integration is important in that level, because if you realize that people from Swaziland have an advantage compared to us. They come to Botswana, they have the views of what is going on here, they visit so many locations within our country, they see investment opportunities, they see work opportunities, they see so many opportunities, some even get married here. So if we give ourselves an opportunity to also learn about their cultures, I think it opens an international door for us to actually exploit our own career lives in future. It's important for us to appreciate such things. We're not supposed to be limited to just speaking Setswana, limited to just understanding. I know Botswana we are so lazy when it comes to learning new cultures. I mean, look at us here. We can't even speak Sekalaga, most of us. We can't even speak Sekalaga. We can't even speak Seye. You can't even speak these other languages which are somehow different from Setswana. But it is a limiting factor, especially as a tertiary institution student, because we see you as someone who's too local, who's too international to think local. You need to start appreciating other people's cultures. You need to start appreciating their way of lives, because you don't know, maybe you are just meant to start a big business in South Africa, you are meant to start a big business in Swaziland. But we can't speak of the importance of cultural integration when we don't speak of how we can actually achieve this. So I've chosen to adopt what we call a functionalist school of thought. What is required for us to actually achieve cultural integration? We need socialization. And the first step from my department, which is the arm of government, which is the student parliament, we've created a position, a member of parliament position for international students, because we thought it was an important, an important step for us to try and appreciate other students from other countries, including Eswatini-speaking people. We think it's an important opportunity for them to have a representation from the international. It gives them the social capital to even interact with us, because now they have a platform to speak to us. They want us to learn about them and how we can best help each other besides the academic, which we are here. This is somehow a club within an institution. I don't know if is it registered with the SRC.
Not
so I
yet.
think I'll take the initiative to speak to the outgoing secretary. And actually write a proposal to the student welfare director. Then you can be given funds where you can access better things like better food. Not that I don't appreciate your food, it's very nice when I have the best supper. So you can even have better resources to actually organize something that is even more tangible. Like, I was more interested to even try one of the, because in the I was just sitting, I thought maybe the food that you guys were showing were somehow behind. So I was so interested in trying that dish that is said to be bitter for old people. As an old person, I consider myself an old person. So for health reasons, I think I had to try that for my own benefit also.
Yes.
So, like I said, I really came here to learn much more. Because I think it's important for us as leaders within university to advise ourselves on policy and how we can actually help students. It's important for us to interact with you at this level. I didn't undermine this to say, leader, don't come to me with this funny business. I'm dealing with big people. No, I didn't say that, because I understand students at this level, this is where we get to interact and learn more on such platforms, because we're here to learn and we shouldn't limit ourselves to learn. So I think I've learned a lot today with regard to the Swaziland culture. And I have a friend of mine, the outgoing president, recently has been developing a pot bait. I think now I have a word for it, Umkamba. I think I'll use that name with regard to the new development on his. But over and above that, I'm more thankful for such an opportunity, and I'll keep in touch with Comrade Brilliant here with respect to the issue of registering it as a club. Then we can see how we can work with each other. So I wanted to apologize when I began. I had this in mind to apologize for coming late. But you all know, as it's our culture in Botswana, that we normally come after hours, because 2 is 3. So I thought I was going to find a lot of Swati people here, so that I integrate them on this culture of coming late, because it's our culture. But other things that I was doing, because like Comrade Brilliant is said here, I'm the chairman of Monarch. Then if you understand, we are going through a campaign, so I had a few meetings that I had to attend to, and I have to rush back there because we have a war room meeting that we need to attend to strategize on certain things until morning. So I have to rush there now to deal with this. But I really appreciate this opportunity, and I wish to meet you now on a different platform where there are a lot of people, a bigger room space, where now the food are there. I would love to try. I would like to experience those things, and I also want to see this class. We could see those good movies. It can actually help us. The space of socialization. So I really appreciate it, and I thank you. Until we meet again.
Is a university because of international students, but then it's like I didn't mean what I said, or I didn't know exactly what I was trying to say. But then today I just got to get the clear or the vivid picture of it. That you know what, we need to, as not that guys I'm trying to say local students should be recognized or what, but then we need to be recognized that we are here, we are international students, not in that recognition form, but then we need to be recognized in a way that we integrate with the students and then we become part of them. What Mr. Basako has just said, that the student parliament has got a position for that is actually spared for an international student. I think it's actually a good thing, because we are in the University of Botswana, we are part of the University of Botswana. We should be recognized in the sense that we are here. And the initiative that, okay, for me, it was just a dream. I don't know about the other members, but then I think we'll have to go to the drawing board and then register this as a formal club at the University of Botswana with the help of Mr. Basako. And then we are also going to welcome the other cultures. We are yet to go out to the international students that, okay, there's this club that is meant to promote just the culture for what? For international students. So thank you, okay? That's no problems. Thank you so much. Okay, for the last component, which is the traditional, so as a traditional wedding. It's okay, Mr. Pasako is gone because he even said it that he's no longer interested in these weddings. But then, as you might be interested, a Swati traditional wedding, it's called umtsimba in Siswati. So it's umtsimba. It's a traditional wedding. So basically, the word umtsimba is not wedding per se. The Swati word for wedding is umshado. So the umtsimba basically, it's basically a delegation of people. It's a delegation of people who is to accompany the bride to the groom's homestead, right? The bride, actually the bride is the female. The groom is the male. Okay, so it's okay. So yeah, it's the delegation which accompanies the bride to the grooms, right? Okay, so there, as I've said, it doesn't take a single day for this wedding to take place. There is day one, Thursday, it's the slaughter day. A cow and another right to the people who will be accompanying the bride, the bride, yes. So in place of an owl, because actually initially an owl should be slaughtered. Next, the bile, agree know the bile. Yeah, it's in Yomo, in Siswati. The bile of that cow is used as a temporal bracelet for the bride. Yes. Taken and then put on the bride's head. Day two, which is Friday. The delegation arrive at night. Okay, who is the delegation actually? Maybe I can just describe a little bit. The delegation is just those people, relatives, friends, community members. They are accompanying you. So they arrive at night at your homestead. You as a female. They arrive at night at your homestead, and then, because it is believed that the ancestors are awake at night, so they need to be there, they need to be part of this thing, they need to be there when the bride is going to the grooms. So the ancestors need to bless this child, who has suddenly got married. So the delegation then show off with their traditional dances to the elders of the bride. Thereafter, the bride then proceeds to the kraal. Remember, we are still at the bride's homestead. They proceed to the kraal where the bride needs to be bathed by her father. Yes. And, oh, sorry, that correction, can you please make that correction for me? With the groom's clan herbs. No, it's supposed to be the bride's clan herbs. It's supposed to be the bride's clan herbs. I think you know clan herbs. No. Yeah, those herbs, like those. Yeah. Yes. It's called Tihlati in Siswati. So each and every clan name, which is a surname, Dlamini, Smelane, Tsabetse, they have their own clan herbs, which they use to bath. If I want that right now, there's a certain girl that I want to approach, I need to bath with those. I must not use sunlight, I must not use Dettol. I just use those, and I bet Okay, and then after that, she proceeds to the main house.
Speaking to the girl or before?
Before, you need the luck to be, not actually confidence, but then okay, and then she settles at the center, she reaches the heart, and then she's given instructions by her elders. You're okay, my child? In a marriage and everything. And then after that session, the delegation then goes back to the kraal to give thanks to the ancestors. They are now going. They need to go to the kraal to give thanks to them. Okay, actually with this thing of ancestors, there are three places in which the ancestors are believed to live in. The first one is the main hut. The second one is the kraal. And then the third one is the graveyard. So that is why in the marriage, main hut, kraal, it's just that. Main hut, kraal, those are the major places. Main hut, kraal, main hut, kraal. It is because it is believed that everything needs to be blessed by the ancestors. Okay, and then after that session, they go to give thanks. Yes, then they permanently send off the bride. Then the delegation together with the bride proceeds to the groom's homestead, where they travel with chants and songs all the way. That's at night, right? It's at night. They travel. Nowadays, yes, they do travel with buses, but then back then they will travel with their foot. And if they know that the distance is more like maybe it's a 6. Okay, maybe they say it's a 6-hour walk, which means that these rituals, these things they need to perform maybe by 8 p.m. so that by maybe 4 or 3 p.m. they may reach the groom's homestead. But then, yes, they then proceed to the groom's homestead. Upon arrival, they stop singing. Just before they arrive at the homestead, they need hey Baba, are you a war or what? Or just feel intimidated, or you are just person is sent to the entrance of the home, which is maybe nowadays it's a gate. Whereby just enter, you need to ask for permission. If it's my home, I need to send somebody to the gate to talk with you, that somebody needs to come back and give me feedback. I give that somebody feedback. The bride and the unmarried old ladies, because we know that there reaches a time whereby you need to get married, but then you are still not married. So the bride, together with those kind of people, they go to the main hut, at the groom's homestead. So they are now at the groom's homestead. I think you do understand. They are now at the groom's homestead, the main, yes. And then where the elders are situated, they ask for good relationship. In Eswatini, it's called Stocktelling Convo. They ask for good relationship. Then she states that she has been sent by her father. Now, the bride says that I've been sent by my father to ask for good relation in this homestead. I've been sent by my father. This is actually significant because it is believed that whatever the girl is going to do at the groom's homestead, it is actually what he has been told by the father. Right? It's what he has been told. Such that even if the girl can commit witchcraft at the groom's homestead, if there may be allegations that you're committing witchcraft or those things, it is the father who is going to pay a fine to that homestead. So it's actually believed that whatever you do it in the what, you do it in place of the, or you do it on behalf of the father. So that is why you are like, okay, everything you do, it's linked back to the father. So that is why you are like, I'm sent by my father. Okay, and then after the bride and delegation, after that, the bride and delegation, they proceed to the groom's kraal. Now, where they do their traditional dances, then the delegation is showed a hut which they are going to occupy during their stay. It's at night, right? So they are showed a hut or a room which they are going to occupy. Then thereafter, they just lodge in. But then it is of common knowledge that instead of them sleeping, they do not sleep, they dance all night and drink their beers, stories, chants until it's down. So yeah, I also cannot sleep in somebody's home. What if something happens at night? But then, yeah, that is how it goes. They never sleep. And then this is what I've talked about, the asking of good relationship. Let me try to play it and see if it's gonna play this. Okay, actually, I think we may be able to point out the bride here. I think we'll be able to point out the bride here, but then here it's actually the bride and the delegation. Yes, this is the bride. This is the bride actually. Oh. Going to the groom's elders. And we do hope okay, just a minute while I try to connect the audio. Okay, maybe let us play the video later. If it refuses right now, we are going to play it later on. Okay, in that case, let us move on to day 3, which is a Saturday. Again, on day 2, they were dancing. Again, on day 2, they were dancing and all those sort of things. So now it's the morning of day 4. Early in the morning, the bride in the delegation needs to go to the nearest river. If the bride and yes, river. Where there is water, they need to go to the river. And then, if the bride and groom woke up late, they are made to pay a fine. If the bride woke up late, because they do not sleep together on that night. No, they don't have to. They are still not married. They don't have to sleep together. So if the bride woke up late, they are made to pay a fine. The bride is made to pay a fine, because you cannot wake up late. You came to a marriage and then you wake up late. Anyways, then the delegation then goes back to the groom's homestead to request for an animal to slaughter, a goat or a cow. They then go back to the river to slaughter the animal there at the river, and they just cook there and everything there. And then they come back. One member from the grooms then call the bride from the river. Then they go back to the homestead, where they give thanks to the groom's elders. And then traditional dances are done at the kraal. The bride with lichalo. Yes, that's a lichalo. You can come. Yes, lichalo. These things that we usually wear on top. What? Lichalo, yeah. So yeah, that's the thing. That's a lichalo, the thing that you use to cover. And then she then goes to the kraal with the lichalo and a shield. Okay, and then she puts a and then if the status of the brides allow her, she throws okay, let me just explain this. This which has got status. What kind of status? It's the chief's daughter, it's from the royal family. Yeah, it's the chief's daughter or it's from the she automatically becomes the first wife. So that is it. Because it's a significance as to who came first, you know. So if you came first, it means that you are going to enjoy more benefits than the others. For example, if maybe I die, I've left behind my wealth, whatever, cows, chickens, whatever things. The elder wife is the one who's going to distribute those things to the other wives. So here, if this fourth wife is from a royal family or from a chief's family, it means that she overtakes the others, then becomes the first, which means that she's going to be the one enjoying those benefits. And then the bride then goes to the crowd to dance, then proceeds to the main hut, where final instructions are given by the elders of the groom together with the elders of the bride. Now, so she's been instructed at her home place. Again, she's going to be instructed here at this home place. Now with the groom and together with her elders. They continue instructing him, you must do this, you must not do this, you must do, and then the bride is then given it. Then the bride is then led to rest. And then the others continued dancing and drinking their alcohol. The others continued dancing and drinking their alcohol. And then the fourth day, day 4, which is a Sunday. Here, early in the morning, the bride is woke up by the groom's family now. Early in the morning, like by about 2 or 3 a.m. And actually this one is okay. I personally will marry around June, July or so. While it is still cold and the bride is still half naked. Okay, nowadays they just put in something like this, something like the topper part of the attire. Just that. Yes, here. They just put her here on nowadays. And then they proceed to the kraal to do some rituals whereby the bride needs to cry. Right now the bride is crying because I'm leaving my parental home, I'm getting into a marital home. Those guys, marriage is not a joke. So you need to cry. Actually, you are not forced. You are not forced to cry, but it's just the thought of it. Like now I'm becoming a wife. I'll also cry seeing somebody getting married. And then they go back to the river again, where they make ready the gifts that are to be given to the groom's family. They start with the father-in-law, mother-in-law, siblings to the groom, her husband, and then the other clan. Real gifts like blankets, your furniture, those things. So yes.
Marriage is for the rich.
I think marriage is for the rich. Yeah. You can never get married when you are broke. Then there's day 5, which is the last day. Early in the morning, the delegation goes to the forest to fetch firewood. The delegation from the bride, right? They then come to present it to the groom's family. They will not take off their firewood from their heads without being given a goat or a cow. They then slaughter that goat or a cow. Then the delegation goes back to the bride's homestead, leaving Makoti, the new bride, at her new marital homestead. So wifely duties. So that is the what this kind of a culture. The first one is that this ceremony usually now the ceremony takes 2 days, which is roughly the way. Integrated food, so those are the changes. Back then, it was just a matter of the slaughtering of animals. You just eat the meat, maybe with some porridge, and that's it. That's it. Nothing else was needed. Those indigenous foods were actually eaten. And then another thing is that now the traditional wedding is too expensive. The traditional wedding is now too expensive because it is actually integrated with the modern wedding. Because back then, the presents were simple. There are these grass mats, you see, the grass mats, those things for the brooms for sweeping, which you used to, those brooms. I think you see those brooms. And then, those were the kind of presents back then. But then right now they present blankets, furniture, which are things that are bought. But then back then you didn't buy those things because those things are made by the old ladies, the grass mats and stuff. So right now it's expensive because you just need to go and buy those things. And for some families, you can even have a budget of 1 million for those things. 1 million, right, which is approximately 700,000 pula or something of those things, just for the marriage. So there is all about the Swazi traditional marriage. Maybe we can just play a video. Maybe we can just play a video. If it's going to play the Bible, it's going to play. But it's playing. The gathering or what shall we do? But then I think there was actually the great news that have been brought by Mr. Pasako, in as much as he's no longer here. Then we really appreciate the inception of that initiative. And maybe where we are going to have the cultural food, where we are going to demonstrate. There are those people who can do these things, you know, just like this, who are good with their doing. Yeah, so I think that will be it. Thank you all for attending, guys. We really appreciate it.